And as people continue to remember our 39th president, we caught up with some of his extended family members right here in the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah, Pat Carter married her husband Calvin 57 years ago. Calvin and President Carter are second cousins, and through the years they built quite the bond. Here's ABC Action News anchor Heather Lee with their story.
American flags flying at half-staff, a national nod to our 39th president, Jimmy Carter. There's one every few blocks along Bayshore Boulevard. Now, picture this. A few decades ago, a cousin showing his support for family.
You would see him on Bayshore, and he would be waving his flag. He did it all.
Ah, the memories.
Hi, I'm Pat Carter, and my husband Calvin Carter was a second cousin to Jimmy Carter. And then we'd gone to the Episcopal Church.
Pat can recall so many memories and shared some with me ahead of her flight to D.C. for the funeral.
He was just a very outstanding person.
Her husband Calvin and Jimmy became very close during his first presidential campaign. She and Calvin lived in Florida, and the primary during that race was crucial.
Yeah, we couldn't get over the fact, one, he was running, and two, he got it.
I, Jimmy Carter, do solemnly swear.
I, Jimmy Carter, do solemnly swear.
Sworn into office in 1977, this picture snapped the same year outside the West Wing. These words, to my good friends and cousins, Calvin and Pat Carter, signed Jimmy Carter.
He felt it was his time, and he was very confident through the whole thing.
Just like the rest of us, Pat remembers all of the humanitarian things he did. And during his time in the White House, his work with the Department of Energy and the Department of Education.
I think he looked at his own life and realized, what if he hadn't been able to get the education he got?
Pat remembers movie night with the Carters. How could she forget?
So I don't remember much of that movie.
Go on, explain.
Yeah, I kept thinking, what antique did he break?
And by he, you mean who?
My son and daughter were upstairs with Amy, and Amy and Callie are the same age, and they were excluding him because he was younger. And then all of a sudden, one of the Secret Service men came in and said, "Is this your son?" They had found him wandering the White House all by himself.
There were some notable lunches at the White House, too. One while the Pope was visiting, and another guest and his wife were invited, gathered around the family table.
Calvin said to this man, and what do you do? And he said, I am the governor of Louisiana. I know Jimmy could have killed Calvin. He said, well, there goes Louisiana.
So many memories. Calvin passed away a few years ago. They were together 57 years. Pat was also at Rosalind Carter's funeral in 2023.
And this was just a visit.
And as she gets ready to say goodbye to Jimmy.
That he's made our family very proud of him. And I think the country's proud of how his life is. And I think as time goes on, they will realize how much he did.
For us. Heather Lee, ABC Action News.